in our video series. I'm Carla Viljoen, and today we are going to be looking at question 7 on the dance work or your prescribed dance work. Okay, so what is this question about? Yeah, it's about visual literacy. In other words, can I understand? Can I make sense of? Can I interpret what I am seeing visually in the dance? Yeah? And what are the different things that you are looking for when you are analyzing that dance? So I hope you are already seeing the very, very strong connection between question 7 when you're studying your prescribed dance work and question 5 when we unpacked choreography. Because those very same tools that we looked at when we were speaking about choreography, those are the same things that you're looking for when you are analyzing your dance work. Okay, so this section, or this question rather, is, guys, this is applied knowledge. So can I use what I've learned, the tools of choreography in question 5, can I use what I've learned and can I apply it to the dance that I am seeing or the dance that I am studying? So this is not a section that you can learn off by heart from the textbook. Yeah? Yes, your notes and your textbook are going to aid in your understanding, are going to help you in your understanding, but you need to be able to make sense of what you are seeing in order for those notes to make sense. So when you're revising for this question, remember, you need to view your specific dance work that you've studied quite a few times in order to deepen your understanding and analysis. Remember, in this video, we're not going to be looking at a specific dance work because you've all studied different choreographers and different dance works. So this question is just to outline these are the basic things that you are looking for when you are studying the dance work that you have studied. So remember, when you are revising this section or going through this section just before your exam, you need to watch it again. You need to refresh your memory because you forget. If you haven't seen it in a long time, you're not going to remember it anymore. So you need to review your dance work in order to go through this question. Okay, so let's go back to our little list that we usually do. What are all of the different sections within the dance work that you need to be able to answer on or to write about in this question? Okay, so the first one is the inspiration behind the dance work. So what was the stimulus for this particular dance? Then you need to be able to talk about the theme. So the theme, the intent or the synopsis, what is this dance about? You also need to be able to talk about the production element. So how has the choreographer used the set, the lighting, the props, the costumes in order to communicate the meaning in the dance? You also need to be able to talk about the music or the accompaniment. Remember, we said oral settings, the music and the accompaniment and how that enhances the dance or the movement. And then you need to be able to talk about the movement vocabulary, obviously, because we're talking about dance. So remember, when we're talking about movements, we're talking about specific movements that have been used. We are also talking about space, time, and force, as well as the choreographic structures. And then lastly, you need to be able to talk about symbolism. So remember, symbolism brings all of those elements together. Symbolism is about the why. Why has the choreographer chosen to use those elements? Why did the choreographer choose to use that particular costume? Why did the choreographer choose to use that particular music? How does it communicate the meaning? So remember, symbolism is about the meaning behind the dance work. And remember, everybody sees different meaning. It's all right. So visually, let's do a quick little recap of all of those concepts that we unpacked in detail in question 5 that are going to apply here as well when you are studying your prescribed dance work. All right, so let's begin with the theme, right? So the dance that you've studied, what is the piece about? What is the theme? What is the intent? Yeah, is it a narrative work? Is it an abstract work? Then you're looking at the number of performers. So in this particular dance that you've studied, how many performers are performing that dance? Is it a solo for one dancer? Is it a group of dancers but in different sections of the work? There are actually little mini groupings. So maybe it's a big group of dancers, but in certain sections, there's a trio, there's a duet, there's a section where they all come together. What about the number of performers in the dance that you've studied? Then you're looking at the production elements, yeah? And we said the production elements are things like lighting, it's the sets, it's the props, it's the costumes, it's technology and multimedia. So how do those things contribute to whatever the theme or the meaning is? So it's being able to describe them, being able to describe the type of lighting that is being used. And remember, we unpacked that word describing when we looked at verbs in question, in video 2. So you're describing the kind of lighting that is being used in the dance and how that communicates the theme. What about sets and props? Maybe it's a very minimal set. Maybe it only has the dancers on the stage and nothing else. Does the dance make use of props? Maybe there's a section in the dance where they use fans and they use stools. Or maybe the entire dance is done sitting on a bench. Maybe the dance has no props whatsoever. What about the costumes that are being used in the dance? Remember, the costumes are also there to communicate a specific intent. So maybe the dancer's wearing a tube fabric around their body, and the reason why the choreographer has chosen that is so that the dancer can push and pull against the fabric in order to show struggle. So your production elements, how the choreographer has used lighting, sets, props, costumes, how have they been used in order to communicate the meaning to the audience. Right, then you're looking at oral settings. So what kind of music or accompaniment is being used in the dance? Is it live? Is it pre-recorded? What is the style of the music? Yeah, is it a mix of styles? Do you know the specific composer or the band, or is it an orchestra playing? What sort of instruments are being used in the music? Maybe it's sound effects in the music, yeah? So you're talking about the music accompaniment and how that enhances the dance. So it could be the tempo of the music, it could be the dynamics in the music, the duration, the mood and the atmosphere. So you're talking about the relationship between the music and the movements. And then also you're looking at the performance space. Where is this piece being performed? Is it on a conventional stage or is it site-specific? Right, so once you've got those 5 things, you're now talking about how they interact with the actual movement. So now we're talking about the movement vocabulary that the choreographer has used in this work. So if we're talking about movements or movement vocabulary, it's about what are the movements or what is the body doing in order to support the theme. So what sort of movements is the choreographer using? Are they a particular style or genre? Are they a mix of styles? Yeah, does it use traveling movements? Does it use static movements? Is there use of gesture? Is there use of everyday movement? Or is it very, very stylized movement? Yeah, maybe there's a particular motif that keeps getting repeated in order to reinforce the theme. Maybe there's a strong use of stillness in a particular section of the work. And then, of course, the relationship between the performers. How are they interacting with one another in the piece? Are they forming particular formations? Are there smaller little relationships, like maybe a duet there, a trio here? So you're talking about all of those things when you are describing and analyzing the movements being used in the work. And then, of course, while you're looking at the movements, you are also looking at the dance elements and the choreographic structures. So remember, we said all movements use space, time, and force. So you're speaking about that when you are describing your movements. And you're also talking about the choreographic structures within the dance. So this dance that you've studied, how does it start? What happens in the beginning, in the first scene? What happens in the middle, and how does it end? Is there repetition in the work? Remember, we spoke about motif earlier on. What is the high point in this dance, the most memorable part? Is there use of canon? Is there use of unison? So you're talking about these 3 things: movements, dance elements, choreographic structures. Remember, they're all going to overlap in your writing, but this has to do with the movements. And when you bring all of those elements together, Those are all of the things that the choreographer is using in order to convey the intent or the meaning or the symbolism. That's the word we're looking for, the symbolism. Because remember, symbolism is about meaning. So when you combine all of those things together, what is the choreographer trying to tell you as the viewer? What is the meaning behind the dance work? So remember, in this question, you're probably going to be asked to describe movements, production elements, etc. You're going to be asked to explain. You're going to be asked to analyze. You may even be asked to give your own opinion on the dance work. Yeah? So remember what we said about answering in full. When we're talking about opinions, what sort of opinions could you be asked on the dance work? Maybe you are asked, do you think that the choreographer successfully brought their message across? Maybe that's an opinion question. Maybe the opinion question is, do you think that the dance work that you've studied is relevant or not in 2021? So remember, a lot of the prescribed dance works that you've studied are older works. I mean, if you think about Lamentations, that was choreographed in 1930. 1930. Is that piece still relevant in 2021? I mean, we know that piece is about grief, and grief is a universal emotion or feeling that we still experience in 2021. So, is that piece still relevant? That's for you to decide and for you to be able to substantiate. Right, so let's quickly talk about that prescribed list and what it looks like. So in your question paper, you're going to get this table with a list of international choreographers and their dance works, as well as South African choreographers and their dance works. So you're going to select the one that you have studied in class. It might be international, it might be South African. You need to have studied one, so you're going to choose the one that you have covered in your dance class. And remember, this list is going to apply to question 7 on the dance work, but it's also going to apply to question 8 on the choreographer. Right, and then quickly let's just talk a little bit about writing formats. So remember, this is a long question. It is often asked as an essay, but it could also be asked as an article or as a review. So what makes those 3 formats different from one another? So when we're talking about an essay, I'm sure you've written many essays in your languages. If you do history, you're writing essays there. So remember, those same rules of essay writing apply. Your essay's got to have an introduction, it's got to have a body where all of the information is, and then it's got to have a conclusion or an ending. When we're talking about an article, what does an article look like? So besides the body of the article, yeah, it also has a definite title. In order for you to want to read an article, it's got to have a catchy title, right? And then also the writer's name would appear with the article. So it could be anonymous, it could be your actual name. So those are the things that would go with an article. What about a review? Remember, a review is something that you write after you've seen the dance work. If you think about YouTube reviews, people are reviewing products that they've used and they're saying whether they recommend it or not. So it's the same with your dance. You're writing a review on the dance work, you're giving facts, you're giving factual information. And based on that information, you are, as the reviewer, giving your opinion on whether you think it was good or not. So essentially, you're becoming a little bit of a dance critic. So for this question, if we talk about those formats, it's going to require a little bit of planning on your part, because you've got to decide how you're going to arrange the information. Remember, that's your rough work that we said you draw a line through when you're finished. But you're going to need to decide how you're going to structure all of that information in your essay. Right, so that's it for question 7. Tell us in the comment section which choreographer and dance work you are studying at school, and also maybe you can tell us whether you think that that particular dance work or that particular piece that you're studying, whether you think it is still relevant today in 2021. Okay guys, that's it from me. That wraps up question 7, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.